All right, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this fine Monday afternoon about 4:20. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. I hope everybody is doing well. It was actually a very nice day here today. It was roughly about 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's balmy for us here in northern Minnesota. I almost wore shorts. If I wasn't at work, I'd have been in shorts. It was that nice outside. Although I am a self-proclaimed part polar bear, as my wife would say, so take that for what you will. Anyway, today's video du jour, Skinny Minis. The guys that make, or Dungeon in a Box makes Skinny Minis. They've done 2 Kickstarters now. The first one, I don't want to say I was overly impressed with it. I was happy with it. I'm trying to look for my miniatures. You know, if I was a more professional channel, I'd have this all put together. I bought this lovely binder, and it's chock full of Skinny Minis. Um, and I'll pull one out here if I can find a decent one. You know, it's got to look cool, right? Oh, here we go. Here's a nice demon. We'll pull a demon out. So, get this out of the way. Oops, something fell out. Not important at the moment. So this is a Skinny Mini uh, demon, for lack of a better word. You can see it's printed on both sides. It's made of a heavy acrylic. You can see, and then right next to it, this is from Wizards of the Coast. This is their version you can buy. They usually come about 12 to 16 of these in a flat for right around $20, $24, depending on the size. I have another one around here that is unopened because it had a dragon in it, a small, I don't even remember what size. Anyway, the point is, you can see they're very similar. They're acrylic. They're painted front and back. Get my camera over here. Painted front and back. I'm not quite sure how well this will show up, but you can see the Skinny Minis are slightly thicker. In the grand scheme of things, does it make a difference? No. I've tried scratching these off. These are the Watsy ones are like very flat, very slippery. There's no like texture to them. I don't know the process of like how they put the image on there, if it's maybe put in the middle or something. I would assume I can't scratch it off either. I don't know how these are manufactured, but I guess my argument here is, or what the point I'm trying to make with this babbling is that these are just fine. If you find these in a discount bin or you find them for sale, uh, pick them up. Now the stands do not work. The Skinny Mini stands do not work with these, so you have to keep them separate. So that, for me, that's a downside. I don't want to have to keep 2 different bins of miniatures. I have, like I said, I have this really cool mini American Flex folio that I bought off of Amazon. It was like $12 or $14. If you buy the ones from Skinny Mini, they want to charge you $30, which I think is a ripoff, or $24.95. I don't remember. Whatever the price is, it's too expensive. Look for those on Amazon, and they're way cheaper. So, but these are usable, serviceable, and if you're playing D&D, Pathfinder, any fantasy game, Castle and Crusade, it will work for any of them. They're really nice. I don't know if you can hear that. That's, oop, I just turned my light off because I'm a dummy. Um, that's the Watsy one, or WizKid. I think it's WizKids. Like I said, I don't know exactly where. And then this is the Skinny Mini one. You can hear it sounds a little thicker, a little more. There's a little more oomph to it. So anyway, my point was is that the quality on either one is good, but I backed the Skinny Mini Kickstarter 1 and 2, and I got all of those miniatures you just saw, and I did a review. Go back in the archive and watch it. Um, and I was very happy with it. I didn't like the cases. In fact, the cases are right there, and they suck. They're garbage. I don't even use them. The only things that are in those cases are the big ones that won't fit in this case. Um, Now with the Kickstarter 2 that they did come out with a new case and new sleeves, and supposedly it's supposed to be better. I haven't seen them on their website yet, though. When I went to dungeoninabox.com, all they have is these, which are garbage. Don't buy them. They are worthless. You will be very upset spending 15, 20 bucks for each one of those binders. They suck. The sleeves are okay, but I don't like the sleeves either. They have a little lip over them, and then you slide them like a pocket, and it makes them hard to get them in and out, especially if they're irregular, and it's just a total clusterfuck. So, pardon my French, I would not get them if it were me. Now, that being said, the new case that they're coming out with looks really nice. It's a better designed binder. They did listen to the feedback from everybody that was in the previous Kickstarter. And so hopefully they've taken it to heart and the new cases will be better. Now, I have not seen the new cases except for what they've shared with us on Kickstarter. So I cannot attest. Hopefully that Kickstarter is fulfilling. I think they said the last update said probably right around summer, beginning summer, sometime in the summer, either in beginning, middle, or end of summer. That Kickstarter should be fulfilling, maybe a little sooner, if I, but I don't remember. Anyway, my point to this tirade is that I was very critical of Dungeon in a Box. I subscribed to it for several months, and I would say that almost every month I was dissatisfied. Why, you ask? Well, they promised an adventure that was Pathfinder 2e compatible. And in my opinion, strictly my opinion, they did the bare minimum to make it 2e compatible. That being said, what I mean is like when a monster has, every player monster NPC has a 3 action economy in Pathfinder 2, meaning you have 3 actions on your turn to do whatever you want to do. And in the stat blocks, they didn't list those 3 actions. They just listed basically the 5e stats. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember seeing out of mine. And I do remember in some of the boxes, I even got the 5e contents, the printed contents instead of the Pathfinder 2e content. So it was very annoying. Their quality control, in my opinion, was very low. I had multiple boxes shipped to me, like the same, like 3 months in a row. I got the same box, and I even contacted them. I went through everything. So hopefully they've gotten their logistics squared away and they've figured out what they're doing. But as far as Dungeon in a Box goes, for 30, just short of 40 bucks a month, to me, it was not worth it for the headaches that I had to put up with. I do think that the content inside was clever. I did like the adventure campaign that they were giving you. Because remember, you're getting pre-painted miniatures, flat plastic miniatures, that the quality is good on those. I'll give them that. I love the quality of the flat plastic miniatures. I think they're awesome, which is why I backed Kickstarter too. And I'm super excited when that comes in. But they also included a lot of 3D printed resin or just 3D printed some sort of polymer or whatever they make, they do it with, actual miniatures. And I didn't want those, to be honest. I mean, the whole reason I did the Dungeon in a Box is I wanted the flat plastic miniatures. I want all my miniatures to look the same. That's the OCD in me. I get that. Some people like the miniatures, but I have more miniatures than I know how to paint right now. So why do I want to add even more miniatures? So that was not the draw. The draw for me was the Pathfinder Second Edition adventure. That was an ongoing adventure, as well as the maps. And I will say they had very cool maps. They had some very cool cardboard terrain and stuff that you could put together. And some of it's pretty cool. And I've used some of it in my home game when I was running Pathfinder, and I enjoyed it. So that part of the box I enjoyed. The rest of it I did not. Like I said, multiple boxes, screw ups, delayed shipments, sending it to the wrong, just every kind of logistical nightmare with shipping. Is all of that their fault? Not necessarily. You could say some of that was, on the post office or whoever they were using as to fulfill their logistics. But that's not our problem, right? At the end of the day, we've paid for a product. We want what we've paid for. I didn't feel I was getting the bang for my buck, so I canceled my subscription. And the sad part is I started that subscription twice. I did it once. I wasn't happy with it. I signed up for it again a year later thinking it might be better, and it wasn't. That the second time is when they screwed up my shipment and everything. I got the same box 3 times, and when I contacted them about them, they basically told me to piss off. So not a huge fan of their customer service. Again, I think the products are good, but the people who make the products, the artists and stuff, they're not to blame for the customer service of the staff that it works at Dungeon in a Box. That's all I can say. That's my experience. Your mileage may vary. But one of the things they did kick up, and what I was very interested in, what a lot of people asked for, was a monthly subscription box that was just skinny minis. And so they listened, and I'm super excited. I have not opened this yet. I have taken it out of the mailer so that you could see what I get as well as I see it. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this together. I will say I like the box. I'm assuming that miniature might be in the box. I don't know. This is the first one I've gotten. It took about 3 months, maybe a little more. I'm not happy about the lead time, but the way the process works is you sign up for it. And as the months go on, what they do is every month they put out a new drawing and they give you some options. Like, say there's going to be 4 goblins. They're going to send you up to 8 to 12 images of goblins that are going to be the miniatures that they print. And again, like for argument's sake, they're only going to print 4, but they're going to send you 12 images. And then the community, the people that are paying for the monthly box at, I think it's $16.95 plus shipping, comes out to right about 20, a little bit over $20, $22. I don't remember exactly. And I'm supposed to be guaranteed, I believe, 16 miniatures in here, barring like large miniatures, which count as 4, medium miniatures count as 2, and then small miniatures count as half, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. If someone from Skinny Mini watches this, post down in the comments below, or someone who knows better. But the point is that you vote on what you want in the box, and majority wins. So if you don't vote, you can't complain if you didn't get what you want. And then what they do is, I think after the voting closes and they tally it up, which I think is the next month, they send out an email saying, this is what's won. You're going to get something to this effect, which I think is pretty cool. I like it that we as a community have a say, and we've all seen how that whole community thing works. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro. Okay, hold on. I have to take a pause. My son needs some candy. Okay, Daddy's recording a video, so you need to go sit outside, okay? Just take some. All righty. Just a few. Just a few. Don't be greedy. There you go. Perfect. Sorry about that, guys. Um, so anyway, I like the fact that the audience, the buying public, has a say in what's being ordered and what's being presented. So cool to see it. Let's open it and see what we got. Now, I don't have a camera that will point down. That's as low as my camera goes. So what I'm going to have to do here is, unfortunate, is I'm going to lay this on the table and I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open it up and we shall see what's inside of it. I'll hold it all up. So opening the box, the first thing I'm greeted with is a black wrapping. It's wrapped in black paper, and I'll hold it up so everybody can see. You can probably hear it. And inside is all the stuff. All right, so we're going to get rid of the black paper. I'm going to turn this over. So the first thing on top is a Dracolich Sandstorm Tyrant, huge undead lawful evil. All right, so these are 5e stats with legendary action. I can tell because Pathfinder doesn't have legendary action. This does me no good. Waste of paper. And they've got a whole bunch more in here. Now, again, I understand that it's the world's most popular game, but I would like, for future criticism, give me an option. Give me, you know, Pathfinder Second Edition, maybe even Pathfinder First Edition, and D&D stats. That would make this more usable for me. Right now, this is just garbage. I'm gonna let my kid play with these. They do me no good. And then there appears to be 2 flats in here. It's shrink wrapped. So give me a second to tear into this. I can't even figure out how to open it. And I'll count how many miniatures there are, and we'll see what our bang for our buck. Now, I'm not gonna lie, just looking at the Dracolich right now, it looks pretty damn cool. And I see some bigger miniatures. And I don't think I got a vote on this one because when I signed up, I had missed that opportunity. So so the dragon, there's 2 dragons and they take up one whole sheet. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there's 14 miniatures on these 2 sheets. Here's the dragon. They did not give me any bases, but they don't include the bases. They are assuming that you already have bases, which I have a crap load of bases. So I think what I'll do is I will put this on the box to show you. So you can see there's the back. So it's two individual dragons, and they're gonna one of them's gonna be upside. There's nothing I can do. So there you could see it. So it's pretty good. Trying to get the glare off. So the art is amazing. I think these look really great. So that's the two dragons. They're Draco Liches. And then this is the hags. I did vote on this one. I do remember it because I see one of the hags that I voted on. So that's pretty cool that a lot of people like the one I like. So that's the hags. Hold that up there so you can see that. So this is the hags. I remember voting on this. So I did get a say in this. And then this is, I'll show you the backside. So there's the backside of all the hags. And like I said, they sent out a survey and they ask you to vote on it. Comes in this little box. Now, I suppose you could keep these boxes for storage. I have no desire to keep the box because, like I said, my other Kickstarter will come in and I ordered enough of the little cases to put more miniatures in. But just at a cursory glance, these look amazing. I mean, there's like a, let's see, I could pop the, and they pop out pretty easy. You do want to be careful if you've got little kids, maybe if they're helping you pop them out. They do come out pretty easy, but it's an acrylic type plastic and it does have sharp edges if it breaks. There'll be some jagged, pointy edges, and you don't want the little ones to get cut. But there is the Ogre Hag. I got to admit, that's pretty dope. And I believe I get 5e stats for this as well. Let me double check. Shadow Hag, Plague Hag, Storm Hag, and the Draco Lich, Swamp Sovereign, and then there was just a regular Draco Lich. So these are in 5e cards. These do me no good, like I said, because I don't play 5e, so I have no interest in those. So those will go in the garbage. I'm gonna say this Draco Lich though, the blue one, that is super cool, really nicely done. And I love painting miniatures, but I run some off the cuff games, or I run a lot of I'm getting back into conventions this year. And so I don't want to lug a bin. And some of the conventions I'm going to go to, I have to fly to. So I don't want to check luggage. I don't want to, deal with all of that stuff. So I'm going to use these flat plastic miniatures. I can put them in a binder, stick them in my backpack, and I've got all the miniatures I need for the convention. So very happy. 16, I think it was 16, just like I said, just short of $20 for these. And this is much better. I'm being overcritical only because I'm kind of anti D&D right now. I don't want to do anything, me personally, that supports WotC or Hasbro in any way, shape, or form. I was going to buy the GI Joe game, and then I realized, oh wait, that's by Hasbro, and I didn't buy it. So I know it's just one person, and that's my feelings. And some people might say it's petty, but it's my dollars. I work hard for my money. I'm going to spend it where I want to spend it, and I am appalled by what WotC and Hasbro have done, and then to backpedal and just be sleazy about the whole deal. And I won't go into any more than that. Is they don't deserve my money, and I don't want to support companies like that. Paizo gets my money. Paizo has stood behind their products whenever I've had a problem. I bought the first Pathfinder core book. I remember it was the first printing, and it started coming out of the binding. And of course, the first edition of Pathfinder was a pretty chunky book, no less so than second edition. But the book was printed in China and it was falling apart, and I had just got it in the mail. Paizo, the guys at Paizo were great. They said, "Don't worry about it. We'll send you another one." And like in a week, I got another one, and I said, "Well, I can send the old one back." They said, "No, keep it. We recommend you spiral bound it and let your players use it." And I thought, "Wow, that's super cool." And so that's what I did. So very happy with Paizo. I think they're a business just like everybody, just like WotC, but there's a good and bad way to do business, and I think Paizo's doing it right. I think Castles and Crusades, Troll Lord Games is doing it right. Um, I run a Wednesday night game on Foundry using Castles and Crusades rule set, and so far I'm loving it. I have 5 amazing players that are super fun to play with, and I really enjoy running for them. They make it a joy to come back and run the session. So super excited. But these flat plastic minis, I don't know how long I'll keep going with the subscription. 20 bucks for 14 miniatures, 15 miniatures. I mean, that's cheaper than buying physical miniatures, 3D miniatures. You're not going to You're not going to find a deal like that unless you buy it off of eBay or something like that. But I mean, I got more hags and Draco liches than I'll ever need, which is kind of cool, I guess. And I got an ogre hag, which, come on, you could use that. That could be an ogre druid. It could be a hag. It could be, I mean, you could use it for anything. These can be swamp orcs, if you wanted to do, it doesn't necessarily have to be a hag. So it's pretty cool. I'm very happy with it. And yeah, that's really all I got to say. I'm gonna do That's pretty much the end of the review. Like I said, I'm happy with it. Um, I'd like to see it a little cheaper. I think for what I got here, I think a fair price would be $15 plus shipping and handling. That's just me. You can't please everybody, and we always want it for cheaper. I'd be willing to pay the $21 or whatever if they were made in America. These are made in China. I don't see why this manufacturing can't be done in America. I mean, flat plastic minis, I will say if that's important to you, they make their stuff in America. I bought both. I only bought a few of the plastic miniatures from Arknight. And then I had backed the Kickstarter from Skinny Mini, and they came in right about the time that I got the Arknight miniatures. And I like these a little bit better because they were a little bit harder. They were more stable on the table, and they had a little more weight to them, which is why I like them. But hindsight being 2020 and knowing the troubles and tribulations that I've gone through with Dungeon in a Box, I probably should have stuck with the flat plastic miniatures by Arknight Design. I think the quality is just as good. The only thing is they're a little bit lighter. That's the only thing. But you know what? Glue a washer to the bottom of the base, you're good to go. But these are, like I said, these are acceptable. I'm going to keep the subscription. I think I've paid for my third month now. This is the first one I've got. I don't know if there were delays. I don't. Hopefully next month I'm going to get another box right around this time, around the 10th of the month. What is today? Today is the 6th. So I would hopefully somewhere around the beginning of the month of March, I would get another box. And we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it. If it doesn't happen that way, I'll probably cancel because in the summertime I'm going to be getting another 100 miniatures, I think, somewhere right around there. I think I'm getting 100, 120. I can't remember. So yeah, pretty happy with it. I mean, I like what it is. You could even save these and you could write on here, with a like a metallic Sharpie, so you could see it because it is dark. You could write with a metallic Sharpie and say, hags and swamp dragons, Draco Lich. You could write on there so that these don't take up too much space. So that might be an option. I don't know. What I am going to do, though, is I did want to talk to everybody. I'm going to do another drawing at the end of this month. Um, Most of you know I run a Patreon. It's $5 a month. It gets you exclusive tag on Discord that lets everybody know that you're a supporter of Mr. Mean, part of the Horde. Go Meanies. And then every so often I do giveaways. And it's usually stuff I've bought or excess stuff that companies have sent me. And it's stuff I'll never use or I don't really have a need for it in my collection. And so I give it away. I give it away to one lucky listener. And so this month, for the end of February, I'm going to do a drawing for this, the Spell Codex. This is done by, I believe it's Dragon Shield. This was like $25, $29. I can't remember. I think it's overpriced. I did a review of it. I tried using it in my Pathfinder game. It's kind of made for D&D, but it works for Pathfinder. You can see, comes with a wet, dry erase marker. I'll clean it up before I send it out. But there's my spells for my War Priest. And you can see it holds the spell cards. These are the Pathfinder spell cards, but it holds D&D spell cards just fine. So I'm going to include this. If you want to know more about it, go check the review that I did of it in the channel. It's a couple months back. But it's brand new. I used it once, didn't like it, didn't work for me. I use Path Builder, and that has all my spells in it. I don't need to have a physical representation of the spell books. And my only complaint is there's no complete list or no complete purchase of spell cards from Paizo or anybody. D&D's even 10 times worse. You have to buy, the primal spells. You got to buy the druid spells. You got to buy the oracle spells that are all separate. And I get it. That's, it's marketing. They want to make money, but it annoys me when I got a spell that comes from another necessary discipline and I don't have that spell. And that's what happened here. So I was really annoyed. I mean, I like I like having, Chill Touch, Daze, Disrupt Undead, Divine Lance. Those are neat to have, but I had one spell. I don't remember what it was now, but it's or Guidance. Guidance wasn't in the spells for some reason in the cleric spell box. So I have the Pathfinder cleric spells, and Guidance isn't in there. I don't know why. Yeah, I think that's because it's on another list. I don't know. Anyway, um, I'm going to do a drawing. So if you're the point of this, as I babble, is sign up to my Patreon. It's $5 a month. Believe it or not, your $5 helps this channel a lot. I'm a small. I mean, I got less than 1,200 subscribers, which I thank all of my subscribers. You guys rock. You're awesome. Tell your friends. Let's grow the meanie horde. But it would be nice if all 1,200 could afford $5, but money's tight for everybody, and I get it. I wouldn't be begging or asking for subscriptions, to Patreon if I didn't need the money, because obviously I buy a lot of game products and I review them here on the channel, and then a lot of times I give them away. So that $5 patronage helps support this for things like this. I was not wild about this. It's perfectly brand new. It's been used once. Go potty, please. Uh, and it comes with the marker. You can see it in there. Like I said, I did a full review. So if you haven't joined the Patreon, there's a link down in the doobly doo. Please do, because anybody who joins this month will be in the running for this. So that's $5. It's $60 a year. You can go to GoFundMe, or not GoFundMe. Can't think of the name of it right now. It's basically Buy Me a Coffee, but the company changed. They're no longer called. Well, they are. They still have their Go Buy Me a Coffee. They just they they do other stuff. Let me see what it is here. It's got a name. Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. Um, but it's you can do any donation. So if you want to just give me a donation of $60, you can donate to the channel there. What's nice is there's no fee for you. I pay a small fee, but it's not much. It's very minimal. It's cheaper than what Patreon takes, but Patreon is a steady income, and it does help, like I said, support the channel, and it's very much appreciated. So those are the two ways. There's links in the doobly doo. Use my affiliate link for Drive Through RPG. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it puts a couple pennies in my pocket, which I use again to buy products off of Drive Through to do reviews. So those are the ways you can help support channel. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on Discord, MeWe. I'm on MeWe as well. I usually post all my videos to the relevant channels on MeWe. Um, yeah, so it's been a great year. We're off to a wonderful start. I think we're right up to almost 1,200 subscribers, which is amazing. You guys rock. So thanks for taking the time to watch my video. If you can financially do it, and you can support the channel, and you want to help, I will be grateful, as Alex saying, put you in the drawing this at the end of February, February 28th. I'll do a drawing, and whoever wins, I will notify them via Patreon. So make sure your email and everything is correct, and I will send this to you at my cost. I won't ask you for any postage or anything like that. Whenever anybody in the Patreon wins something, it's at my cost. A couple of the guys are overseas, out of the U.S. proper, and like one of the guys, it was going to cost me $100 to mail him one book, and I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. Sorry, that's coming out of my pocket. So what I did is I got him a $25 gift certificate to Drive Through RPG, and I hope he used my affiliate link. So, but it's no big deal. All this stuff is discretionary and at your option. And I hope you do choose to support the channel and you like the content I provide. I try to give honest reviews. I don't do any paid for reviews. Any product that I review is sent to me, and my opinions are my own. They have no editorial say, post production of what I say. So it's just one of those things. And I do get a lot of people that send me, hey, review my game. And I look at it and I go, no, not into that. Sorry, I'm not going to review that. But thank you for your interest in sending it to me. It doesn't happen very often, but I do get a lot of people that want me to review their stuff. They're making games and they've never published anything. I give them some polite feedback. I've been in this industry for 30 plus years. I've been GMing almost 40. I started very early. My mom was my first game master. And then I learned, the pamphlets from her, and then I went and GM'd for all my friends. So I have a lot of fun doing it. We also Discord and Patreon members exclusively get first dibs on any games I run. I use Foundry and I use Discord, voice and video, and you guys that are Patreon members get first dibs at those. If you want to play in a game with Mr. Mean, there you go. That's the best way to assure that you can get into a game with Mr. Mean, because Patreon members get first dibs. We have a very active Discord channel. We have game publishers in there all the time. A lot of indie presses, since that's mostly what my channel focuses on. I do a fair amount of Pathfinder 2e coverage because I'm a big fan of Pathfinder. But I stopped my auto subscription, so I haven't gotten any of the new books. I don't have Treasure Vault. I don't have the Forbidden Lands or whatever the new book is. I don't have those yet, and I'm a player right now in a friend's home campaign, and he's not even running in Glorantha, Galarian. Sorry, old school there. If you got that reference. So yeah, Patreon. You get in, you get a chance to win this at the end of the month. So I hope if you do it, good luck. Join the Discord if you are a Patreon member. I can check and I can change your color in Discord to a Patreon member. So that's all I got for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, put them down in the doobly doo. I do try to read every comment on the videos and at least give you a thumbs up and or a heart sign to let you know that I read it. I do try to reply if I can. I'm on Discord quite a bit throughout the day as the way my job works. Some days I'm super busy, some days I'm not. So if I can respond on Discord, I will. If not, it'll be after 4, 5 o'clock when I get home. So as always, peace and hair grease. Love one another. Be nice. Most importantly, be nice. And be nice. I said it. Peace and hair grease, everybody. Be good. I will talk to everybody in the next video du jour.